Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of The Plane Truth. Here we're going to talk about hand planes, um, the types and their uses. Tonight will be a quick introduction on the classic, more modern hand plane. If you go to buy one in the store, it's not power, it's hand. You're going to see something that represents one of these modern planes. So the theory behind planing is the shorter the plane, the more it can smooth the board. However, you want a longer plane to get the board smoother and smoother and smoother, where it's true from end to end. So normally you'll start off with something like this number 4 to get the small undulations out. Then you'll move to the number 5, which is called the jack plane, so that it can get the board even smoother. And then the number 6 or number 7 to actually get it where you can actually joint something together. That's where the name joiner plane comes from. These are all Stanley planes, or kind of an innovation of Stanley, iteration of Stanley. So this is a true Stanley Bailey plane. This is one, it's the handyman version, so these were for your weekend warriors and not people that use planes every day in production. And this is actually one that Stanley made for craftsmen, freshly restored, by the way. They call this the jack plane because it'll do anything the other planes will. It'll just take longer, so it's kind of the jack of all trades, or the jack of all planes. So real quick, we're going to talk about one last plane. That's the low angle plane, and the only one I own is a low angle block plane. These are really good for ingrain because of the low angle. But this was my first plane that I ever bought, probably 30 years ago, and I've still got it, same iron, everything. Great little plane. If you're going to buy your first plane, I recommend a block plane because they're fairly inexpensive but very versatile. So the first lesson in planing is what direction to plane. So what we've got here is a piece of pine, and I have actually kind of drawn the grain so you can see it better on the camera. These dark pine is really good because it's not a fine grain, right? So direction of planing is very important for two things: the friction and the tear out. So what you want to do is plane across the top of the grain and not into the grain. So if you were to plane in this direction, that grain is going to lift up, get under that blade chip breaker and tear out, or it's just going to give you a lot of resistance. So that's all I have tonight. This is going to be kind of short, but I'll leave you with I have some footage of me actually planing where I use all three planes. To start with the number 4, go to the number 5, and the number 6, or maybe the number 7. I can't remember, but fun times. Let's watch some planing.